It's farewell to Nice today. It's stage 3 of the Tour de France. It's presented by Rocket Mortgage. The riders race for a first time ever finish, and I can't believe I'm saying that, at Sisteron after a ride of 123 miles. So we're going to be treated now to about 4 hours of live coverage. We're looking here at the Lou Viaduct. I'm Phil Liggett, and alongside me, but a little bit distant, social distancing gone mad, about 4,000 miles away, is Bob Rowe. Looking down, this is a lovely part of the world. We're looking at the Lou Gorges here as the riders start moving in to the Route Napoleon today, all the way to Sisteron. What a perfect position for Cosnefroid, because he saw the reaction of Perez, but Perez is strong now. Can Cosnefroid get round him? If he doesn't get round him, he will lose that polka dot jersey. What a final kick. Not enough. Anthony Perez, who would have thought I'd be commentating a stage finish on a climb in the Tour de France so early? But that is Anthony Perez, is now the leader on the road in the King of the Mountains. Cosnefroid gets 1 point less, so he is into second place, Bob.
Tremendous sprint by Anthony Perez. I would have given the advantage in this situation to Cosnefroid, but Perez tenaciously diving for the line here. There are still 3 more climbs on the day, so that jersey is most certainly not decided by any means. But on the virtual standings, it's that man in red and white, the Cofidis rider Anthony Perez, just in front of Benoit Cosnefroid, who, by the way, had been sitting on his wheel throughout the climb. So I think that anger got the better of that sprint for Anthony Perez.
And it's Perez again. This time Perez is led. Now, can Cosnefroid, who's done it a different tactic here, he's taken his slipstream earlier, can he close the gap? I'm not sure he's anything like the sprinter of Perez, and he isn't. So Perez is building his lead now, and he's setting himself up for a change of jerseys tonight, and he could be in that polka dot tomorrow. Either way, he's French, so they'll be happy.
That gives...
Well beaten, Bob.
Yeah, wow. Perez proving to be the stronger of the two physically. There was no tactics about either sprint. He just happened to be faster and stronger at the top of these 2 first categorized climbs.
Easing up towards the top of the climb here, Cousin is going to get that 2 points at the top, so there's no problems there for him. And the gap is going to be quite considerable over the peloton. So as we see Cousin go over the top, and yes, look at this, the polka dot jersey of Benoit Cosnefroid and a teammate, Nance Peters, in his first tour, have gone over the top of the hill. And just after Bob Roll told me that there wouldn't be a sprint, Bob, you commentate on it.
You thought there might be? I thought there's no way there's going to be a sprint, but Cosnefroid getting the better of Perez quite easily and gets 1 point. He does not come but 1 point closer to Perez's lead in the King of the Mountain competition. But what's most surprising to me, not that they sprinted for 1 point, even if they tied in the next sprint, AG2R rider would still not get the King of the Mountain jersey, but he's decided to go on the attack. And so the peloton now chasing Benoit Cosnefroid and Nance Peters, if I'm not mistaken, unless they sat up. But they kept that aggression going on the descent. And he was just in the breakaway. And he went back voluntarily to the peloton, and now he's attacked again, in spite of the fact that the man he was with throughout the day, Jerome Cousin, has a 3-minute and 40-second advantage. So this is really mystifying tactics by the AG2R squad, honestly.
Well, in fairness, Bob, you were right, because that was not a sprint. He broke clear. Okay. So that's a different thing. So you're okay. You're all right, Bob. That was not a sprint.
Thank you, Phil. That's the most magnanimous way to look at it.
But it was a great attack.
It was. We'll see.
Well, he's got the point. He's a point behind in the classification now. And as you say, Bob, if he wins the 4th category climb, there's only 1 point left today on top of the 4th category climb of the Col de l'Orme. He would still be only equal, and because of countback, would not be wearing the jersey tomorrow. That's the basic situation.
And so Perez was clever to give up on that and go back to the field.
Yeah, and there's the result of the climb of the Col de l'Aigle. Cousin, 2 points. Cosnefroid, 1 point. You'd think they were still together, wouldn't you? Because that's been the result for second place for Cosnefroid on all 3 climbs we've enacted so far. Overall, 1 point behind now, and he's in the polka dot jersey till the end of the day, but Perez will pull it on tonight And that'll be the first time that Perez has ever worn a leader's jersey of any colour in the Tour de France. So he's got something to look forward to there. But the peloton is chasing them down.
Now,
any minute now. There's only 1 point available on that climb coming up anyway, but they know the peloton are coming after them. And they are coming after them, and here they are. Tim de Klerk is driving, and I'm wondering if they're picking up the Mistral, which is this wind that blows across France.
If I'm Benoit Cosnefroid's sports director, I'm going to ask him what in the heck he's doing.
Now,
he attacks.
by the way, Bob, I've got sorry,
ahead,
Bob, but I've got some bad news from you. The man you picked to win today is just being reported as being off the back of the race. I'm not sure we can show you the pictures. So there we are, off the back at 3 minutes. Now what's happened to your man, Giacomo Nizzolo, the sprinter, Bob?
Definitely a split in the field, and a lot of people missing out. If you're not paying attention, and a team as strong as De Koenig puts a hammer down at the front, you're going to lose big time. And they maybe had a feeling that some of the sprinters were not paying attention at the back. They told their sprinter, Sam Bennett, to move up. We're about to drop the hammer and take advantage, exploit these crosswinds that are projected to start blowing across the field. So Tour de France, you take your eye off the ball for one moment, you can lose your chance to win anything.
I'm just hearing some terrible news. Anthony Perez, who was the new leader of the King of the Mountains, has just abandoned the race, and the reason, he's just crashed coming down the Col de Lec. He was off camera, of course, but the organisers are confirming he has broken his collarbone. Now that is terrible. That's
the most horrible luck you can imagine. You've just sprinted for two categorized climbs, getting the better of your direct competitor in that competition. Cosnefroid put a lot of pressure on with the sprint up the next climb, and then you crash while the peloton is chasing. Even though Cosnefroid didn't have a lot to gain by doing that, Anthony Perez, that's just the most horrible luck. He was about to pull on the polka dots no matter what happened the rest of the stage in the King of the Mountain competition, and now he's out of the Tour de France in the blink of an eye because he crashed and broke his collarbone. I think that those type of inexplicable, never happened before situations are going to continue to transpire throughout this year's Tour de France.
Well, this would have been this is his third tour. He's finished his previous two in 85th and 87th position, 18 and 19. Never worn a jersey, and tonight would have been his big moment.
Yes, absolutely.
He would have pulled on the King of the Mountains jersey, yeah.
And he was clearly better than Cosnefroid in the first two sprints, and had really earned the polka dots. It's an incredible shame not to be able to wear that into the next stage.
Well, they've hit the front. We'll pick those pictures, and there they are, the blue jersey of Team NTT. Peter Sagan is down there very close to the front too, and right behind him in the green jersey is indeed Alexander Kristoff. Nizzolo is the fourth rider in line with also a white jersey on, but there are going to be challenges here. Sagan is in a good position, but Kristoff, I think, is in a better one, and Sam Bennett is on the left shoulder of the rider in the green jersey. The battle royale of the best finishers in the world are coming together, all in a chase for just 19 points. And it's not even the finish of the race, this is only for the points. Looking at the pictures now head on as they come through on the line. Sagan has got it. It was a bad shot for us, I must say, but Sagan looks as though he got that on the left, Bob, from Kristoff on the right. What do you think?
Just sneaking in front of his competitors and using the least amount of energy to get the most points. That's how you win the green jersey in the Tour de France. Perfect execution by Sagan on that particular situation, and not a lot of energy, it didn't seem like, put in by the other sprinters, and they've got a big rendezvous at the finish line of today's stage.
Interestingly, just sitting at the back of the peloton now, and we're so used to seeing the last 4 years, we're so used to seeing Team Ineos Grenadiers at the back and at the front, sorry, and now we're seeing 2 or 3 of them just relaxing at the back a bit. I know it's not a very stressful day for these GC guys, but interesting to see how their tactics have changed with different kind of riders that are not so used to following a power meter, are more used to attacking more and being a little bit quicker at the finish, and really just being more racers in the peloton. But it is interesting to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt later on into the race, not being able to take the front as they normally do.
Just about 10 miles from the finish of the race, and they're making the catch here. Now they'll try and keep this race together because they don't want attacks to start and spoil the joy of the sprinters. They'll try to control the race now, keep an eye on everybody. Jérôme Cousin has just been awarded by the race, and not surprisingly, the combativity award of the day for the way he's attacked from the very first kilometre until now. So he's led in this race, Bob, for 115 kilometers.
Well awarded in this circumstance, the Combativity Award. They don't always get that right, but I think the jury is 100% accurate in their selection today.
There's a crash down there, and that is Kosnefar on the floor. He looks okay. He's got to get up because he'll be on the podium tonight to receive a jersey. But again, this is the danger, Bob, of these. Oh my goodness me, that was a heavy fall. Amazingly, he just steps up out of it. This is the one tricky roundabout, and some unlucky boys have gone the wrong way round there. I think this is the one that Christian was referring to. Look how much they've lost by coming around the wrong way.
Absolutely.
As they come through the kilometer marker. 2 to go. Go on.
Dukunik doing their homework, going left, just like Christian Vandenvelde said they should do, and got a big advantage in that with 2K, just underside 2Ks to go. 1.2 miles, just a couple minutes of racing left.
Lotto Soudal trying to put Caleb Ewan in the perfect position here. The rider's in the red helmet, but the others are forcing the pace as well. It looks to me as though Alaphilippe in yellow has decided to get out of this, and he's bumping and barging about 10 men back. He just wants to stay safe. That's all he has to do to be the yellow jersey tomorrow, and he loses no time. We're inside the 3 kilometer marker now, so all of these riders will get the same time if there is a crash.
UAE on the front, that's the team of the green jersey. Alexander Kristoff will be coming into the frame and trying his luck for another stage when he's won stage number 1.
And he wears the green jersey that Peter Sagan is looking for at the moment. And as I pan here, I don't see Sagan, but I can see in the pack there the green jersey of Kristoff. No sign yet of Caleb Ewan, Bob.
In the white-black jersey, Sunweb, they have Case Bowl, a very powerful sprinter to go. 1 kilometer left.
1 kilometer left, and you know, I saw Nizzolo licking his lips. He's dead center, but he's out of our camera shot at the moment. He is in a perfect position to win this, and those boys in the blue jerseys are his teammates to lead him out. Peter Sagan is there, a lot of ground to make up, 800 meters to go towards the line. Sagan's going to have to produce a special sprint here now. They're trying to bring Nizzolo to the line as Sunweb try to open up the sprint here as well. Looking over the shoulder, there's no time looking over the shoulder now because this is the dash for the line. Is that Sam Bennett as they come up to the line? Viviani through on the inside. Elia Viviani, but being passed by Bennett on the line. No, it's Peter Sagan. Sagan coming through. Peter Sagan, but is he going to get caught by Bennett? He's going to be passed by Bennett on the right of the road. Bennett's got the rest, but Ewan is coming as well. Caleb Ewan through on the inside. That's how you do it. Caleb Ewan wins from Sam Bennett. And with an incredible acceleration, as I said earlier, Caleb Ewan always comes late, and that was a very special sprint for him.
Brilliant timing by Caleb Ewan, waited to the absolute last possible moment. Sam Bennett had a clear run at it, but Caleb Ewan just too quick for everybody else. Impressive effort by Peter Sagan also, but Caleb Ewan, the stage winner today, well deserved, taking advantage of the terrain and the winds. And his lead out was very strong also throughout the finale of today's stage.
And Metzek wasn't far off either. He was alongside Ewan just there. There's Bennett on the left. So win number 1 in his second tour. He won 3 stages in his first tour last year. The man from Queensland in Australia rides for Lotto Soudal. Remember, this team lost 2 riders with damaged bodies on day 1. Gilbert with his damaged knee and Degenkolb, his lead-out man, also out with a crash. And he still wins without him.
And there is the man, Caleb Ewan. This scene didn't seem possible. 200 meters left, and he was like 6th, 7th place. Found his way. Crafty moves, explosive finish. He's a stage winner for the 4th time in his career.
Yeah, very gutsy sprint there today. But really, like Chris said before, you can't plan on that every day. One day, okay. Next time, you better be a little bit close to the front.
A little bit closer to the front, and he can rack up a number of wins throughout this Tour de France.
Stage results, Sam Bennett right there. Peter Sagan did earn the green, 7 times the winner overall. Imagine we'll see him in that green jersey for the first time here in a moment. As for the yellow jersey, we started out the day saying it was a pretty good day for Julian Alaphilippe to maintain yellow. He'll be in yellow tomorrow for the 2nd day in a row.
Yeah, big test for him tomorrow. Can he or can't he? The question is, just keeps on going for another year.
What kind of form does he really have? Does he just have that one-day form, or does he got the Grand Tour form.
I think he can. You know, I was proven wrong so many times. I'm going to have to go on the positive side that I think he can, if he wants to, really keep that jersey tomorrow. I think he's going to fight for it as well.
I'm going positive, too. I think he could definitely do one day for sure, maybe more, but I'll give my opinion on that after I see him tomorrow.
There's the top 5, and we'll also see 6 through 10. Summit finish for Julian Alaphilippe. How does that line up for him?
I think it's going to line up where he's just going to stay with the Jumbo-Visma guys and Ineos guys and going to see what they do. He's got only a few seconds to play with, though, so he has to be able to follow just about every attack on the climb that looks like it's going to make it to the line.